Welcome at another Ubuntu Touch lecture, and we are going to try to call an API. We have a website, catfact.ninja, and we have random facts about cats, don't we, Sander?
Yes, it's an interesting site with all kind of cat facts. So let's pour this site into an app.
Exactly. So we made a standard setup, and it is a QML setup. If you like to see how to get to the setup, please go to a previous video. There we show how to start and configure a new app. So you can see it there very simply.
The first thing we'll need to do is change the label in a text area. Because the cat facts are pretty long strings of text and we want to neatly display it in multiple lines of text. And this can be done by a text area. We'll give it a default text, something like press the button to show a random cat fact. We also want to give the text area an ID, so we can change this text later on and put a cat fact in it.
We chose for result text, and we also need to add a button, don't we?
Yes, of course, because we want the user to refresh the cat facts in the app. We give it a text with something inviting, like give me a cat fact.
Oh, need my spelling a little bit wrong. Yeah.
And we need to anchor the button to the bottom of the page.
Yeah, very good.
And of course we need an onClicked, so that when we press the button we can call a function.
And we can use a normal JavaScript function, a normal JavaScript syntax. Let's check firstly if it works fine by what we did so far. Of course, we have no functionality yet. We create a function outside of the page. We give it the name getCatFact. And the first thing that we need to make is an object which is an XMLHttp request. It's a quite standard way of doing an AJAX call to any kind of server. And we call it request. It has an open function and we need to configure 3 parameters. First get, because it's a get request, else it would say something like post, but this is a get request. And the URL of the API. This can be, of course, any API, but we use this as an example, and we want to do it asynchronously. Therefore, we can have an onReadyState change, and the onReadyState change is the callback of the function. So when the request is ready, this is the functionality that we want it to execute. We only want to have a reaction when the ready state has reached its final status. And that is the XML/HTTP request state done, is the 4th stage of the HTTP protocol. The other thing, we want the request status to be there and it to be 200, which is the status for fine, good executed HTTP requests. Of course, to get ourselves some confirmation in the console, we may do as a string text received or say anything like that, response. And then just a response text, because the request has a response text property, and that is like the string that you saw in the browser. But the text is in JSON format, so to get an object out of it, we need to parse it. There is a standard JSON library which has a method parse, which makes out of that string an object. Result text, that is the ID of the text area. The text of that one, we want it to be filled with the result.fact, because in the JSON, the fact is labeled fact. It has the key fact, as you might have seen. If anything goes wrong or anything is different, we want a small console log that something went wrong, and we just do a HTTP : so that we recognize it, that it is of us, and then the status code and the status text, so the status and the status text. In the end, we need to send the request, so we need to make sure that it is being executed, and that is the method send. Now the HTTP protocol request is being activated. The last thing we need to do is call this function, which is on the onClicked. Let's see if it works. Clickable desktop, yeah, there we go. Hey, there we have a nice cat fact.
Wow, we get random cat facts.
Yeah, perfect. So, any kind of API we can call now. Thanks for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.